As you all know, we recently lost one of our all-time greats, Hal Adamson. Hal joined our club in 1955 and was president of our club in 1961. Hal was such a friend of the club, and even at age 90, he was still hanging around all of us. In fact, when we had our last mixer at the living room in La Encantada about a month ago, who was there? Hal Adamson. One of his closest friends was fellow Rotarian Tom Strasburg. So I called Tom and I said, would you be willing to come in and say a few words about our friend Hal? Tom Strasburg joined our club in 2000 and was instrumental in the formation of our car show. He's a Paul Harris Fellow, and in his club runner profile, he said he did not attend South Point High School. I'm really sorry to hear that, Tom. Your mistake. He's been married for 55 years to Susie, and I do have this to say about Tom Strasburg. He's just an amazingly great guy. So fellow Rotarians, please welcome Tom Strasburg.
Good morning, Bob, and thank you for that nice introduction. Hal Adamson was a lot of things. He was a man of great character, possessed a lot of common sense, had a terrific sense of humor, and always a twinkle in his eye. He was opinionated, but he was also a patriot who loved this great country. He was honest in every respect. He was also my friend. He was my sponsor back into the Rotary Club of Tucson in the year 2000. Hal was born here in Tucson in 1929 and passed away on March 24th at the age of 90. He was a rare individual who was a true Tucsonan his entire life. He attended Roscrew Junior High School, did not go to Sal Point, but instead graduated from Tucson High School and the University of Arizona. Our families have known each other for more than 100 years, all of it here in Tucson. He and my late cousin, Louis Rose, were friends all their lives. Hal once told me that when he was 8 years old, in 1937, he got on a bus with his shotgun and went to Nogales to visit Louis and his family who were living there at the time. They spent the weekend hunting birds and rabbits and just having fun as kids that age always did. He then got back on the bus, carrying his shotgun, and returned home here to Tucson. Try doing that today. Hal was in ROTC at the University of Arizona, and after graduation served as a lieutenant in the Tank Corps during the Korean War conflict, 1953 and 1954. He was awarded the Bronze Star for Valor and Can-Do ribbons during his tour of duty. When he returned to Tucson, he went to work with his father at Bauman Adamson Tire Company, located at Stone and Toole Avenues. And in 1955, he also joined the Rotary Club of Tucson. He was 25 years old. In 1961, at the age of 31, Hal was selected president of the Rotary Club of Tucson, at that time, the youngest president we had ever had. Here is a short video of Hal made a few years ago where he talks about his experience as the president of our club.
I'm Hal Adamson. I was president of the Rotary Club of Tucson in 1961-62. In the good old days when we met downtown at the Pioneer Hotel, which was once characterized by one of our speakers as the longest trolley car he ever spoke in, because the room was fairly narrow and very long, and they set it up so that the speaker had to look right and left to his audience. It was an interesting time. Just a few years after the war, Tucson was really starting to boom. The suburban expansion hadn't really taken off. It was just starting. So most of the Rotarians, I would say at least 50%, walked to Rotary from their offices or businesses downtown. And we had all of the local retailers and florist shops and specialty shops that were regular members there. I would like to say to newer members of the club and members still to come that the best way to get the most out of Rotary is to participate, get involved in the committee work, especially the car show. There's been so much camaraderie developed in the car show because we spend more time getting it organized, and then the days just before the show and the cleanup after the show. There are a lot of people out there together, and there are funny things that happen that people remember, and it really gets you in a position to know your fellow members, and you have a much better relationship with them, and it carries over into your business and your other social activities. It's a great experience. I would recommend Rotary to anyone.
This video helps to illustrate the many changes that Hal observed during his 65 years of service to our club. More recently, he served on the committee that John Wong established to determine how we were going to build fellowship and utilize other people's money to establish a signature event and fund our charities. Hal was instrumental, a driving force, if you will, in establishing the Tucson Classics Car Show as our primary fundraising activity. Since its inception, Hal has served as the head of the car show judging committee, picking the best in show car each year. He was a true car guy. In 1968, Hal established Mobat Adamson and Adamac Tire and Rubber Company, which served the mining industry's tire and rubber needs throughout Arizona. He sold the business in 1996. Hal was a past president of the Tucson Country Club and also the Tucson Airport Authority, and he was a conquistador for more than 50 years. He enjoyed traveling and spending time at his cabin in Pine Top, and Hal is survived by his wife Diane and his two sons Dave and Dan and their families, and his brother and fellow Rotarian Larry Adamson. He enjoyed a great life, a terrific family, and friends everywhere he went. We will all miss you, Hal, and thank you for your guidance and for your friendship.